Coming up next, we have the most relaxed whale in our pod. Everyone say hello to Keith. Well, they're going to be coming up together in the center of the pool. Now those white oval eye patches you see on their heads help them coordinate all of the group behaviors they do. So once again, to get those cameras focused right in the center of the pool, we're going to have Ulysses, Keith, and Shuka, and they're going to be working together. Wow, great job, guys. Once again, give it up for Shuka, Ulysses, and Keith.
You can see how different each killer whale is. But did you know there are even bigger differences in the wild? Would you be surprised if I told you there are actually different kinds of killer whale? Scientists refer to them as ecotypes. They live in different habitats, they have different body types, and they even pursue different kinds of food. While killer whale ecotypes are different, they're all still considered members of one species, or Sinus orca. One of the questions we get asked all the time is how big does a killer whale grow to be? Well, that answer depends on which ecotype you're talking about. Is it a 16-foot female in Iceland or a 30-foot male in Antarctica? Let's take a closer look.
The remarkable thing about killer whales, no matter which type, is that they are found throughout our global ocean, from the Arctic to the Antarctic, and literally everywhere in between. They are found in so many different habitats and depend on such a variety of marine life for survival that killer whales are more intertwined with the fate of our ocean than any other marine animal. Truly, these awesome animals are the living symbol of our ocean, representing so much more than their own species.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for our killer whale family. Okay, let's check out some of your great questions. Oh, here we go. So many people wonder about our trainers. In fact, raise your hand if you've ever wanted to be an animal trainer. Wow, that's a lot. Then you should meet the dedicated men and women who interact with our family of whales every day.
Up on the main stage, say hello to Bronwyn. We have Katie. There's Vicky. And Summer.
Our trainers are so passionate about what they do here every day. And that reminds me of another one of your great questions. Here it is. Do the trainers talk to the whales? I'll let you answer that one, Ashley.
Well, that is a great question. Well, we may not talk to whales the way that you and I talk to each other, but we have taught them different signals so that we can communicate them. Now, with this ongoing communication, it helps us build the strong relationships we have with the whales. And because of this connection, we're able to do things like answer important questions through research.
Here at SeaWorld, we have a unique opportunity to conduct research about killer whales, asking important questions that can only be answered in a setting like this. So much of what we learn here is being used to help killer whales in the wild. Of course, there are other questions that can only be explored by studying whales in the ocean. By exploring questions both at SeaWorld and in the wild, our combined research gives all of us a better understanding of killer whales and the places they live.
And that's what I call working together. Research flowing in both directions, from our park to the wild and back again. That way everyone benefits. Okay, let's view another question. Oh, perfect. This individual wonders why whales jump. And I just happen to have that emoji. Look.
Sure.
You know, killer whales communicate in a lot of different ways. Sometimes they vocalize, and sometimes they use their body. A jump like that is called a breach. They're making a sound on top of the water. When a whale uses their body to slap the water, it creates a commotion both above and below the surface. This could be to show their excitement, display a little power, or even to get the attention of other whales. Some of you may have heard about Kalia's calf Amaya. Our SeaWorld social media fans actually helped name her. And here at SeaWorld, we watch newborn calves rely on their mothers for everything from the very first moment of birth.
As a calf grows and gains some independence, it is looked after by other whales in the pod too. They help the mother protect the calf, teach it survival skills, and show the calf how to romp and play. Killer whales live in family-like groups known as pods. Like human families, their pods can range in size, from just a handful of whales up to a few dozen.
Oh, here's another one of those important questions. Does having a killer whale breeding program at SeaWorld help whales in the wild? Absolutely! Our successful breeding program helps us understand the developmental needs of pregnant mothers, newborn calves, and young killer whales. This is critical information because that is the time when they're most vulnerable in the wild. Gaining this kind of knowledge is only possible through the research we're able to do right here at SeaWorld.
Recently, SeaWorld worked with researchers from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, to help them develop a model for identifying when a killer whale is pregnant by looking at aerial images of the animal in the wild. Prior to this cooperative effort, where SeaWorld provided direct, unparalleled access to our pregnant whales, researchers had no solid way of knowing whether or not a female in the wild was carrying a calf.
Wow, now that's a lot of questions. Believe it or not, we get them every day.
We sure do. Killer whales communicate using all sorts of sounds. Let's listen. Each killer whale, each pod, has their own dialect, their own unique set of calls. But let's not forget, they use body language too.
Sometimes they blow bubbles, bump into each other, or even scratch each other with their teeth, causing rake marks. These are the multi-line marks that you may see on the skin of some dolphins and killer whales. This is just one of the ways these animals display dominance over one another during social interactions, both in the wild and here at SeaWorld. We've just learned how killer whales use vocalizations and body language to communicate with each other. But do you remember how we communicate with them? That's right, with signals. Here at SeaWorld, we communicate with our whales, and we want the next generation to be able to do the same.
Well, this is my favorite part of the show. We've got two volunteers down here. On my left, everyone say hello to Colin. And on my right, Grayson. Thank you for joining us today. Well, Colin over here is going to be meeting Pete, and Grayson is going to be meeting Shuka. Okay, looks like Colin's asking a signal. Oh, I bet that's refreshing. Grayson over here as well. Oh my goodness. And on my right, it looks like Grayson is dancing with Shuka. And let's see what Ikaika is going to do. Oh, he's hanging out killer whale style. Check this out. He's giving you guys a great big wave. And over here with Shuka also. Wow, great job you guys. Thank you so much for helping us out today. Yay! We have a whale tail necklace, so you'll always remember meeting Keith and Shuka.
Oh, here's another one of those great questions. Thanks to you, Shamu. I love that question because it lets us give you a peek at how much we care for these extraordinary animals. Hey, Ashley, is everyone ready?
We sure are. Now the behaviors you're about to see are the way that we actually take care of our killer whales. If you look at Shuka over here, when our whales learn to offer their tail flutes, we can take a blood sample. Now this blood sample can show us many different things about the whales because these guys get physicals every year just like we do. Now this slide out behavior you're about to see with Keith right over here, while very impressive and a great photo opportunity, is actually how we weigh the whales. In one of our back pools we have a great big Shamu scale. Now we weigh our whales every week to make sure that they're staying a healthy weight and that our calves are growing properly. Now our high energy behaviors that you see, like our breaches and our fast swims, well, those happen out in the wild and here at SeaWorld, and they help us exercise the whales. So everyone check out Shuka. She's got that small jump in the corner. And now focus in, center pool. Wow, great job, you guys.
I know that our guests may also wonder, how much does a killer whale need to eat every day to stay healthy?
Well, that is another great question. So our youngest calf, Amaya, she just turned 1 on December 2nd. She's eating 20 pounds of fish every day, but she's also nursing from her mom. Now Ulysses, who was out here earlier, that weighs almost 10,000 pounds, he eats 185 pounds of fish every day. Now again, it's important to note that no matter what, our killer whales get all of their food every day.
Because we've been able to determine how much killer whales eat at different stages throughout their life, researchers in the field can use that information to determine if ocean habitats are healthy enough for killer whale populations to thrive. And that kind of information is invaluable.
You know, food, exercise, and seeing our veterinarian aren't all our killer whales need. Our killer whales' well-being is so important to us that we want their minds to be mentally stimulated and challenged too. Now, if you look upon our big screen, you'll see that our whales are playing with some EEDs or environmental enrichment devices, toys. Now we can bring in kelp from Mission Bay. We have all sorts of fun toys our killer whales can play with. In fact, we have a great big Shamu toy box that we have lots of fun toys. Check that out. Now, even with all this toys, learning, enrichment, and games, we find that the best interaction is still the interaction between the whales and our team of experienced trainers.
Okay, how about a question for all the kids out there? I know you all want to know who would win if the killer whale squared off with a great white shark. How many of you think the shark would win? Raise your hands. Okay, now how many of you think the killer whale would win? That's right, the killer whale. You see, a shark hunts alone, while a killer whale hunts with a pod of killer whales. So it's not even a competition. Killer whales have even been known to hunt blue whales. Do you know how big blue whales are? At over 80 feet, it's the largest animal ever to exist on the planet. But killer whales can hunt these huge animals because they coordinate, collaborate, and cooperate. They work together as a group to overcome challenges much bigger than themselves. We can learn a lot from them about how to overcome the challenges our ocean faces. In fact, if we collaborate like the killer whales, we could change the fate of the ocean and maybe even the world. Awesome, we've got some more questions. These are some really common questions that always come in. Here we go. First one. Why do some dorsal fins curve? That's a great question. You see, dorsal fins don't have any skeletal support, such as bone or cartilage, to support their height and weight. They're made completely of connective tissue. If the animal spends more time at the surface of the water, the tissue in the fin may weaken and the fin may start to bend. We occasionally see curved dorsal fins both in the wild and here at SeaWorld. Next question. How fast can they swim? Well, depending on their body weight, some killer whales can swim close to 28 miles per hour. Check it out. Not bad, right? Next question. How much water can their tails splash? Their tail, or flukes as they're called, are really strong and can fling a whole lot of water about halfway up these stands. Last question. If all the whales splashed all at once, could they get the whole audience wet? Well, maybe not the whole audience. Now that was refreshing. You know, killer whales are so inspiring. In fact, the more you learn about them, the more you realize they represent more than just themselves. Truly, to better understand the killer whale is to better understand the ocean. Never stop wondering about the natural world around you. Be sure to visit SeaWorldSanDiego.com for your free download of the Killer Whales Up Close book and share it with your family and friends.